Hi there folks. In this video I'd like to share with you a brass cleaning method which I learned about fairly recently from a fellow gun club member. Got talking to one of the lads in the club the other week and he told me about this product called Lemi Shine, and you may have heard of this if you've heard of the brass cleaning method that uses stainless steel pins to wet tumble your brass. Anyway, he said he was using this stuff without the stainless steel pins, and I think he actually wasn't even using a tumbler. I think he was just using a plastic container and adding this stuff to the plastic container and shaking it around. But anyway, it sounded like it was a pretty effective product, so I picked up a container of this. This is it was about $4 and change at my local hardware store, Canadian Tire, up here. I'm sure you can buy this in lots of other locations. Anyway, we've got some fairly grungy 45 ACP brass here, and I'm going to tumble half of this to show you a comparison between the before and after. So what I've got for a tumbler is one of these fairly cheap Harbor Freight type rotary tumblers, and these come with a rubber drum. I should grab the rest of it here to show you. And the rubber drum comes with an aluminum cover with a rubber backing, and there's also a clamping piece that goes on top. And basically it's a pretty simple machine. There's just a couple of rotors or rollers in here that are powered by an electric motor with a small belt, and I just put this on a timer, an appliance timer, and I run it for a couple of hours, which seems to work fairly well. So anyway, I'm going to show you my method with this, and we'll put in about half of this stuff. Like I said, we'll save the other half for comparison. We'll have something to show you sort of as a before and after. And it's a nickel drum. We don't really need to clean that one so much. So anyway, there's roughly half. I could put more in there, but I want to save half of this for my demo here. So that'll make a good before and after, just a random selection of each. So we'll set this one aside. And as for the Lemi Shine product, I don't have any exact measurements to give you, but here's what I do. I just put a little bit in my hand, about that much. I really don't know how much that would measure out to, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Throw that in, and then I take some dishwashing soap, and I put just a little dab of that in. That's probably too much, actually. And then I'll add some hot water to it. And so I've added some fairly hot water out of the tap to this. I think cold water would probably work, but a little bit slower. Most things that you're going to wash seems to work better with hot water. So we'll put the top on this thing. And these little tumblers are fairly cheap. I think in the US you can buy them at Harbor Freight. I think they come in a single drum model and a double drum model. Of course, there are other rotary tumblers which can do wet tumbling as well. This one I found in a store around here, and I think it was under $40 perhaps. So anyway, we'll tighten the lid on this thing to make sure that it doesn't leak. And just a simple matter of putting this thing in, to plug this thing in, and we'll let it run for a couple of hours, and come back and show you in a couple of hours the improvement that this has made. Alright, the tumbler has been running for 2 hours on a timer, so I've taken the rubber drum off, and we'll take the top off here and see what sort of improvement we've got over what we started with. Usually a fairly dramatic improvement from start to finish with this. Still got some suds going on there. We'll pour the dirty water into a container just so we can see how much crap has come off this. kind of illustrated when you can see the dirt that's come off and the oxide. You can already see there's quite a dramatic difference in the brass, and look at how dirty and nasty looking that water is. Almost black with both dirt and oxide off the brass. Nice thing about this system is there's no dust off it. Unlike a conventional vibratory tumbler with dry media, there is no dust off this whatsoever. So just a matter now of rinsing everything off, and usually run some water through this a couple of times, getting the extra soap off. Quite an improvement already. To help speed up the drying process, I use a cut off leg of an old pair of jeans because it's made of cotton, and I dump the wet brass inside that, and then just fold each end. Just take the brass around inside that. You can see the water comes off. A certain amount of it anyway gets absorbed by the cotton. And of course you have to leave these in a warm place to dry off before you can reload them. But anyway, that's what they look like. They're not completely dry, but that's what they look like at this point in time. And by way of comparison, the other brass which I started off with, I kept half of it aside. So there's kind of a before. You can see what that stuff looks like. This was basically half of the batch that I started with. So there's the before, and there's the after. So quite a dramatic improvement. No dust, and only a couple of hours to do that. I'll leave the primers in with the pistol ammo. With rifle ammo, I will deprime first, and then do this process, and that'll clean a lot of the crap out of the primer pockets, but it's not really as important with the pistol rounds. And I'll leave these for probably about 24 hours in a warm place to make sure that they thoroughly dry before I would attempt to reload them. In my case, this time of year, I can just set them on top of the furnace jacket, and there's a bit of heat off that, which will dry them out safely. Anyway, just thought I'd share that process, and this Lemi Shine product works pretty well for cleaning up your brass. So I hope some of you guys find that little tip useful. I know I appreciate getting the heads up from one of my fellow club members. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.